First, tell me your name and give me a list of what you do.
Good question. I'm Kai Knight, and I am a homeschool provider as well as a dancer, and I perform with several companies throughout the city. My current ones would be Bambula 2000 and Kumbuka African Drum and Dance Collective. And in addition to that, I have my own dance troupe, which is called Silhouette Dance Ensemble. And it's a community company with about 22 members, children as well as adults. In addition to that, I have a ministry that deals with dance as well, as far as teaching leadership. It's called Surrender Through Dance. And we just go around and do workshops basically about the concept of dance as a ministry and what it would take to be, a leader in that. In addition to that, I also have two mentoring programs. One is for women and the other one would be for the youth, the young adults. Seasoned Sisters is the adult mentoring program. It's a peer group mentorship. So we do activities that deals with everything from our social, spiritual, dealing with depression, dealing with stress, just dealing with coping mechanism, and it works with the peer group foundation because of the fact that we are constantly sharing and giving, and we're going through. That's why it's called Season Center. Seasons, everything happens in a season. And so we are here to help each other through the seasons. And the children as well. We mainly dealing with the youth and young adult girls. We're dealing with more developing young ladies and women who can go forth and cope and go forth and progress, go forth and make something be a vital part of the community. So already knowing what the issues are as adults, we go ahead and turn around and mentor the young ladies so that they can be equipped for life. And probably the bulk of my day is spent with the homeschool program though. And that started with my daughter when I had her. I was working in the school system, but I stayed home with her and I just took in other people's children. And as it developed and as she grew, it has grown into a homeschool project. And that is probably my baby in a sense, but just watching them develop from the nurturing environment of having a smaller unit, because I don't take any more than 8 children at a time, and we're able to meet them right where they are. So, yeah.
Tell me about some of the things that you would say you work with young women to cope.
Okay, like currently I'm dealing with a young adult single mother, just providing her a place where she can, the best way to put this, it's a transitions place. Feel comfortable, to feel safe, and to be able to make decisions without the pressures of where am I going to be tomorrow. What's going to happen to me in a couple of months, to be able to train and make sound decisions from that. So it's not about judgment, and I think a lot of times that's where we all fall. We think that we're going to be judged, and it's no one to help us because we are being judged. And it's not about judgment, it's about looking past what is to see where we need to go. And so that's what the coping, what we do in all of the ministries. It's like we take people for face value. We take them as they are. We take them as they come to us. And it's not about judgment. It's about sharing our life experiences so that we all can collectively make better decisions. Even myself, I have elders who mentor me. So it's a circle that goes on. So coping with life is constant. And it's constant challenges, and we are not meant to go through it by ourselves. So just by having a positive support system, where people who are generally, who really care for you, and it's not about status, because half the time we are comfortable, we are not putting on any airs, because we see each other at our lowest already. So there's nothing we can hide from each other, and we're not trying to hide anything, because it's not about that. It's about us to be able to have a place where we can unload. That's why we work in small groups, so that comfort level and trust can be built up.
Give me one of your biggest success stories in that part of the work.
Without names. I know from, that's hard not to name the name. I'm going to try to do that. But I have several, and I can give it to you in the different degrees of how we operate. Let's say do the dance component. I have one in particular, but not just that particular person, who has gone on from the simple teachings, and we're not talking about teaching technique, because it goes beyond the technique. We're not talking about, just giving particular dance training. We're talking about life issues instilled into. I teach from a passion perspective, not from how technical inclined you are, or how well you've been trained. I teach about what's inside of you and pull that out. And so now she's going on, and when she dances, and she's in another state now, working with universities and working with national dance conferences and stuff. She teaches from that perspective. That's what catches people's eye, the fact that you're able to tap into your innermost and bring that out through your dances. There's hundreds of dancers, thousands of dancers. And then you can walk into any dance conference anywhere, and you'll see millions of dancers. But what sets you apart, or what makes you stand out, is that ability to be able to tap into your innermost and bring that out. So that would be one to actually see that lived out. She's not the only one, but I always get people come back and say, I learned this from you. This part, the past, because that's one thing I drill. I don't want to see you just do the steps. I need to feel your steps. I need to feel it. I need you to give it back to me. If you're not moving the audience, then you have not served the purpose. Also, like with the homeschool, we've been doing homeschool, that particular portion, the foundation, and drilling the foundations of education. I can tell you that I have one student who's at ISL right now, flourishing. I have another one who's in Baby Bend, flourishing. I have another one who's in Lake Forest Montessori, flourishing. They went in already knowing what they needed to know. They already left. When they left me, they already knew how to read. They already knew how to do their basic math functions. They were speaking basic Spanish. So for the most part, they had already known what they needed to know before getting it. And that's our perspective. They leave here knowing already, so that they can drop into any setting and not feel like one of the 30 trying to get it. They go in one of the 30 already knowing, so they're ready to move on to the next phase. So that's our mission, is to, when they leave, they leave prepared to drop into any situation.
What's one of those stories that you could share about what happened afterwards?
What happened after? To see them, one particular one now, she has 2 children, and now, but holding now a real job, not a fast food restaurant job, and she's in school. But her drive, which was getting her over the hump of not feeling worthy, of not feeling that she had failed everyone. That in itself, to be able to feel like she didn't fail, it's not about past or failing it, because we all make mistakes, and we won't even say mistakes. Sometimes, this is how life happens, and you have to be able to pick it up and move forward. You can't stay there in the wallowing. We do go through the moments where we allow, people to cry and have that moment, but also to be able to usher them into the next phase. So now she has a real job working with a company because she was able to finish school, and she's a go-getter. So that, that's the thing. She didn't stay, in that moment of I can't, and stay on the system. Because I'm a big advocate about moving past the system. You don't stay on the system. The system is supposed to be designed. It's supposed to be designed for you to make it to the next phase. So it's no such thing as I'm going to stay here and live off on the system. No, that's a transition, and we're going to help and make sure that you transition off that system and become a vital part of the community, giving back as well.
Well, with all of the programs that you're doing through the Season Center, what are some of the obstacles that you're facing right now to offer that programming or services?
Well, the biggest obstacle, let's say that, like with the homeschool project, I won't take in more than 8 children at a time. So that means that if the 8 I have, if someone falls short or they're having a problem where someone loses a job or they're falling short of money, I'm not putting them out because they don't have the money. I've already begun a relationship and we have already begun a program. So I'm not going to put them out. But how do you still function when the money now is less? Less than what it's supposed to be. And then what I do charge is minimum because the whole point is to be affordable. We're in competition, so to speak, with free programs. We're in competition with programs that are funded by the state or government. But what we have to offer is the small group community. So it's the one-on-one. It's the low ratio per student to teacher. So they benefit from that. So that's where it becomes sticky. How do I keep at 8 or do I go for plus number? Well, that's the problem with the school system right now. It's about number. So I refuse to give in to that. And at the same time, I refuse to turn away someone who's already started a program. Or there may be a situation where that child needs to be with me. Where they may be developmentally challenged or have some type of mental it's something that's going on that they don't need to be in a large group setting, and they benefit from the one-on-one. I have that already. One of the children, he's like that, and he's a beautiful child, and he knows a lot, but he's labeled, and he does have some handicap, but there's nothing wrong with him. He's able to learn, but he needs the one-on-one for accountability, for motivation, and for distraction purposes. He needs the one-on-one. So what do I do if he can't afford that service? Do I turn him away and say, well, look, I got to pay my bills? Well, that's not the perspective I work from. So that's the challenge I'm experiencing.
And so with that being said, as far as you're concerned, knowing that you're not going to get rich doing this, and that's not the aim, why are you doing it personally?
I believe that's part of my calling. I believe it's what I've been called to do, to be a bridge for people, a bridge and support system. It's a passion of me, and I can't really, I've asked myself that question before, why are you doing this? Because it's hard, it's a struggle, and you're about to make me cry. Just the thought of it makes me, to not do it would be out of order for me. To not be able to provide the service would be out of order for me. So I would find a way no matter what. Let's put it like
that. As far as the reactions that you got from parents with the homeschool, what is your perspective? How do you think that they feel about what it is that you're offering? How do you think that? How do you think they value what you do? How do you think that they see that? What's the reaction?
Yeah, the reaction, because I don't have to think about it, because they literally, there is a reaction. I still have one grandmother who calls me to this day. Her son left during the summer, and he went into a big boy school. And she still calls me today with his updates. You know, as just before the Christmas break, she called to give me an update on what he is doing and how he reminds the teachers all the time. Yeah, I learned that at my other school. I already know that, you know, things like that, you know, that he's doing this and he got an award for that. I've had one parent right now who refused. She works across the river, and she gets her son to me by hook or by crook every day, even though she works across the river, because she refused to pull him out of the program when she got a new job, because she felt the benefit was here. Another parent, her and her husband constantly send me little text messages saying that thank God for you, because we see how the child has grown and how much he knows, and they know they're saying, and we know it's from you, and we appreciate, you know. So I get that. I get text message, phone calls with appreciation. That, you know, this is definitely something that they wouldn't have in any kind of way. And, you know, it says a lot to go through traffic and to, you know, to make sure a child gets here, and, you know, no matter what, and that's what it is. Grandparents, definitely, people who are familiar with the old school way of how a system works, and they see the value of having a nurturing setting. I always get comments about that.
So, for the people that are going to watch, tell them why you are asking for this help and what it is that, why that help is important.
Yeah, I'm asking because I have reached a point where I realize that the quality of service is going to either be diminished or completely shut down if I don't ask. Because I am the type of person who would go ahead and do it myself. And I have for the past 5 years, best I could, pulled it from out of my pocket, from out of wherever I need to pull it from. So I'm asking for the help because it's necessary at this point. We cannot go any further. To grow, to flourish, and to service people like we should, I need the help, and I feel it's necessary. The program itself and its components, I'm committed to it. I have a passion for it, and there's definitely a need for it. And so we really need the help at this point in order to keep it going at a rate that, like I said, the quality. I don't want the quality to suffer. I don't want to have to give in and take in more numbers just to pay the bills with, because of the quality. Or if I do take in more numbers, then that means that I have to bring in on another teacher, because I'm not going to change some fundamental things about the program that are necessary. Small groups are necessary in order for the type of work that we're doing. And so that's why it's necessary.
And you're coming to the house of the jazz of the music from the soul, y'all. That is soul. And you're coming to the house of